Asia today, we're flying high. Engineer Charanjit Singh helps keep our Air Force planes in the skies. And there's high-flying music too, with a 24-hour-long performance installation simply called Stars. Welcome to Asia. Montessori has become the largest educational philosophy in the world with over 22,000 schools in more than 100 countries. The idea has come a very long way since Dr. Montessori began the very first school in Rome over 100 years ago. Kadu reports from one such school in Nelson.
What may seem like a dangerous playground or a tradesman's training ground is in fact a perfectly safe learning environment. Learning by doing is after all the foundation of the Montessori system of early childhood education. It originated in Italy in the late 1800s. And this is Nelson's first and longest-running Montessori school, started by Sri Lanka-trained Nisa Mawjood 15 years ago.
Montessori believed that, and when she saw, there's nothing in your intellect without having gone through your hands or your senses. It's about children up to the age of 3. They gather all this information. It's about refining. It's a community of children with a mixed age group. It's about love for learning and wanting to, I can do it, I want to do it, helping them to help themselves, building that foundation.
For over a decade, the school has helped create a generation of self-motivated young Nelsonians and some very proud parents.
While you see the children playing here, a lot of it's actually directed play. So the children learn to make decisions on their own, to learn to study on their own. And that's gone through when my 3 children have gone through secondary school. They've done exceedingly well. And even a lot of my friends were like, why would you go to Montessori? All they do is peel carrots and sweep things, because that's some of the concepts. But of course, I know that if you learn how to peel a carrot, you can hold a pencil.
Nelson was slow to take to this alternative education, but Nisa had faith in the Montessori philosophy, a system which capitalizes on a young mind's sponge-like nature and helps kids learn faster.
Kahurang is doing a pouring activity. It's one of the practical life activity we have got in the classroom. These activities help them to develop concentration. Montessori is about hands-on activity. Any child you would see, especially the 2 and 3 year old or 3 years onward, they will say, I want to do it. I can pour my own drink. So in a Montessori classroom, the classroom itself is a prepared environment. There's the practical life areas. This would help them to do, say, for example, pouring their own drinks to cutting vegetables or even tying their shoelace up. Taking care of the environment, taking care of your own self.
The basis of this form of education is learning abstract concepts through concrete action, with the teacher only passively present in the well-stocked classrooms.
When you finish, can I come and have a look at your work?
Yeah.
The teacher will not interrupt. You give the time for them to repeat, to concentrate.
What started as a community school with a group of parents was handed over to Nisa, who had just arrived from Sri Lanka, fully qualified in Montessori teaching and a young parent herself.
A good thing about coming to a school where it was community-based, where parents were owning it, and I learned a lot from what parents were wanting. And from then onward, the parents were quite happy to almost hand in the school to me to continue with the management.
She's travelled a long way on her journey with childhood education, and though things haven't necessarily gotten easier, Nisa remains ever optimistic.
Montessori on its own is not recognized from the Teachers' Council for registration. So it's a balance between we don't want to lose our identity, but at the same time we need to comply with the ministry's requirements. So it's about getting that.
Here at the historic Founders Park in Nelson, Nisa seems to have found her spot in the sun, giving kids the opportunity to learn naturally through fun.
I feel very fortunate to be living in Nelson and to be contributing to the society. I think that's an important thing for us. This is home.